It's a demonstration on how to submit timesheet for comms riggers. This is via the HF Connect system. You should have used it already for your van logs, but if you haven't used it before, this is going to show you the use of it from start to finish. So ideally you would have this already as an icon on your home screen, but if you don't, you should have received an email from HF Connect. So it's this one that's second bottom of my list here, HF Connect, the HF group. Open that up and it should have a link on it to my library. It shows me the library screen. I'm going to add that to my home screen by pressing the three dots up at the top right hand side of the screen. Add to my home screen. That just creates a shortcut. So if I now go back to my home screen, there it is at the top corner. So I'm going to go back into the app. There is a few ways that we can log timesheets. The job section at the top is for our reactive guys, electricians and plumbers that pop in and out of jobs all day long. So you don't really pay attention to that one. You are going to use the timesheet and expenses submission form. So press the forms bar here and that will take you into that section. You should have, just to double check, actually you've got your name at the top of the list. If it's not your name, then give me a shout and I'll resend you a link to your own library. It means you've got someone else's library if it's not your name. So go into the form section, press forms. It should open up that you're in the engineer admin section. There's a separate comms timesheet expenses submission number 4 here. So I'm going to go into that and press that one. And that takes us into the screen. So you're going to enter the call reference of the job that you're on. So I'm just using a sample job. Double check that what the details that come through are the ones that you're looking for. So this is the Jolly Roger site that's just used for test. Check that it's your name that appears in the engineer's name box. And then we're going to enter our times and the dates. So just click on the date box and I'm going to put in timesheet for yesterday, and we're going to go from 8 through 8 and through to, we're going to go through to 6 o'clock at night. You might not in the past have done this, so you have a travel start, on-site, off-site, travel end. For your purposes, just use travel start and on-site is the same time, and off-site travel end at the same time. You just get paid a flat rate for all your hours, so that's why these are you just keep them as the same numbers, please. If you want to add in another day, you can just press that plus sign at the end of the line, and I'm going to add in today's timesheet as well. So just notice it's 2:10 at the time of recording, so I'm just going to put in 8 through to 8, sorry, that's our start time, and then I'm just going to make it, let's make it 1500. 1500, set that, and it should, when we get to the end of it, it should give me a warning to say that that time's not allowed, so we can change it. Put in a note of what works was carried out, so be as descriptive as you can, but we'll just go with site works just now. Choose the status of the job. Are you going back, or has it been weathered off, or no access, the same as it was in the previous portal? I'm going to just say this one is complete. Add in any expenses. So I'm just going to put in our nightly meal allowance, and I'll put in 2 of them. Oops. There's 2 boxes at the end here, so you've got the all button. So this is for the next section I'm going to show you. I'm going to tick the all. And there's also the plus button if you want to add in another expenses. You don't, if you're just using that line, you don't have to press the plus in order to register that line. So once it's there, that's it saved. But the ticking of the all box is relevant to the next section. So if I'm going to put in another engineer working with me, let's just say Andy Mackay is working with me. Now by ticking that all box, it means that those 2 nightly meal expenses will also be allocated to Andy as well as me. And if you're going to add another engineer as well, so let's just say John Palmer, and this just duplicate the times entered and also the meal expenses entered against them as well. And you can just do that again and again and again. So if you've got your team, the top man can do it, or any person on the team can do it for everyone, or you can all do your own individually, but it just gives you that option. So I've got my time submitted, I've got my times, I've got the engineers coming in, so we'll just submit that, and hopefully it can, so it's giving me the error, offsite cannot be in the future, so that was at 3 o'clock. So let's just change it to 1400 now, 1415. I'm just going to double check, 1415 works. Set that, submit. That should be okay. It should give you a wee half hour. So it should give you a half hour at the end of the day to submit your times. What it's also telling me is I've got a timesheet overlap because I've done another one earlier on. So I'm just going to take out that whole the 3rd of the 9th, just for talking, because I don't need it anymore. Yes. So press the pluses and minuses until the line goes away that you don't want anymore. I'm just going to submit it for that one day. And now that's it telling you that everything's okay. To view your timesheets, back in this main screen, you've got this timesheet and expenses history button, 00. Any second now, and you can then have a look back, right? So anything this week you've submitted should come up. What we got here? Right, okay. So anything this week submitted will show on this thing, and anything in this week you can amend the times up to 8 o'clock Monday morning. So just make sure you've done all your timesheets for the week, and then you can submit up to 8 o'clock on Monday morning and make any amendments you need to make. This 444596 Jolly Roger one on the 2nd of the 9th was the one I entered, so 8 through to 1800. It's automatically put in a break for me, so you don't have to do that anymore. You don't have to press a separate button for breaks. It'll just pick a time in the middle of the day to stick in your half-hour break. If it turns out you never got a break, you have to let someone on the timesheets know and they'll amend it for you. But theoretically, you should always get your break, and you should always have permission from a contracts manager. If you didn't get a break on that day, you need to request it. And that shows you all the other times I've submitted for this week. So I've had a busy week. And there's my 2 meal expenses that I submitted at the end as well. So if I want to change anything and say, oh, actually on that one I started at 7 o'clock, I can go in and change it to 7 o'clock. And as you can then say, well, let's say we finished at 1900 on that one. And you'll see wee blue ones pop up. So if I'd said that was 1800, it's highlighting blue there to say, well, you can't be travel end at 1800 when you were off site at 1900. So let's just change it back to 1900. Press the submit button and it'll submit those changes. So as I say, up to 8 o'clock on Monday morning. That's it. That is the main parts of submitting your timesheets. You've got the other parts of this screen. We've got the vehicle checks button here. This is where you do your van logs and anything to do with vans, van inspections and stuff like that is all in there. Personal use of van miles, all that sort of thing is in there. We've also got this section for shared documents at the end where you'll have we have things like your policies and accreditations and stuff like that if for whatever reason you ever need any of those sort of things. And that is the main functions of HF Connect. If you've any questions, then please give us a shout. If you can't get into it, give me a shout and I'll send you a new link. And if there's any issues you're having when you're submitting your times, please, again, talk to me. Thanks very much. Bye.